Hello Libra, welcome to Grow to Glow Tarot. This is what changes do you need to make for next year? Okay. What changes does Libra need to make for next year? Oh. Okay, so where you've been deceiving yourself that it's okay to burn the candle at both ends. That it's okay to overwork because you have fear and anxiety over your finances. There's another way to improve your finances. Okay, there's two ways to earn money. To have your money earn it for you, or to earn it through labor, right? So investment, like being out of debt, all the debt counselors, they say get out of debt first, but then you also have to save and you also have to invest so that you don't get into debt again, right? Like part of it's your spending habits that cause debt. Part of it's living above your means, which it's very hard not to do in certain economies, certain locations, certain jobs. It's, certain life situations, it's pretty hard not to live above your means, even for the most disciplined spender, right? So it's hard not to have like 2 or 3 jobs, not to burn the candle at both ends. So, you may have to look at moving, you may have to look at, I don't want to say getting educated to get a better job because that costs money a lot of times, but sometimes there could be an adjacent move you can make. Like say you're a manager for this type of place, but a manager at like another type of place makes better money. So you might want to look at, moving adjacently, right? To like a similar field, but not quite the field you're in. The other thing is to invest. Once you get out of debt, invest your money, because even every little bit helps. Say you invest and you earn like $3 from your investment, but then you put that $3 back in, and then the next cycle, whether it's a period of 3 months investment or it's a period of like a year investment or whatever, $3 is still better than no bucks, right? And you just, you grow it, you snowball it by reinvesting it. So yeah, you're looking at the potentials, the possibilities to get away from this. Don't deceive yourself that you can burn the candle at both ends forever, or that you can work night shift for forever for like a quarter more, 50 cents more an hour. You need to come up with a plan, a strategy. Use what you're best at to come up with a plan, to come up with a strategy to move forwards, because there is a point where you can't do that anymore. For Libra, what changes do they need to make for the new year? Clarify the Ten of Swords. clarify. Oh, this is Queen of Swords and Justice. Well, that flipped really weirdly. Okay. The Ace of Cups and the Fool. And interestingly, we have the Three of Pentacles there. Six of Pentacles, clarify the Six of Pentacles for Libra and what changes they need to make for next year. Clarify the Sun. They're just falling all over themselves. For you, Libra, clarify the Sun. And I feel a very strong current. Clarify the Page of Cups, or Knight of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles. No. The Knight of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. Saying, pick me, take me. The Knight of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, so get out of your debt and then start investing. There are multiple ways to invest. Different risk factors, different time periods before the investment is reaches maturity, they call it, or basically the cycle of investment ends. Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck, and we have the Knight of Cups here with the Nine of Pentacles, Two of Wands, Justice. Got Justice there as well. Oh, the cat has chewed up this card quite a bit. So the Knight of Cups, Justice, and the Two of Wands. Planning creatively. There's some offer or there's some plan creatively to get more balance, to take action towards your balance. So this Ten of Swords, this talks about tens are ending and beginning for a cycle. This Ten of Swords, you see the wand, which is a symbol of the spiritual, of the soul, of the totality of who you are. It's broken here. The helmet is down on the ground and this person appears to be dead. So this card sometimes talks about surrender. It talks about an imbalance in thinking, an imbalance in finances, because swords are about thought patterns and finances. So where you've been feeling like you've lost your head, like you've been broken in two, like you just couldn't win. You couldn't win no matter what. And there was this imbalance in your thinking because of this situation. Like it really did cause you to lose your head. It caused you to lose some part of yourself, some part of your soul. So this situation is ending. Notice there's a sunrise here, and the dark storm clouds over here are going away. So there is an end to the situation, or there needs to be an end to this situation. We've got 9 of Wands. You were persevering through it, even though it was kind of beating you up. You were using your creativity. Notice that seaweed there. I'm not sure why there is seaweed for the wands here in this particular image, but the seaweed, I mean, that could have some significance to you. Or I guess it could be like rosemary. It might be rosemary. So seaweed or rosemary could have some significance to you, but notice the cat is just kind of, I mean, it doesn't look like catnip or mint, by the way, but notice this cat is just kind of in amongst it. But this is about perseverance, using your creativity. So you've tried to persevere, you've tried to plow through this situation, but you need to use your creativity. 9s are almost to the end of a cycle too. And we've got 2 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles. 2s are about balance. You know, there's one on this side, one on this side. It's a scale. It's about balance. And you've also got the Justice a couple of times. And the 6 of Pentacles, all about balance. So where you're not able to see eye to eye with somebody, you're needing to really heal that situation or heal your emotions, your thinking around it, where there's been a toxic situation, where you've been struggling to get that balance, where you've been struggling to get your dreams and reality to meet each other or to be more closer together. And it's just been a roller coaster, and you felt like it's a catch-22 situation. You're in a holding pattern. There's no, you're the plane circling above the airport and there's nowhere to land. There's nothing you can do about it. This situation needs a healing. You need to walk away from it. So the 2 of Cups and the 2 of Pentacles, something just flashed in my memory about the 2 of Pentacles. Something that I don't normally say about it or interpret it as. Hold on. So where this disconnection from, yourself, because you've been struggling. Yeah, so it's you're not able to finish something emotionally because of this toxic physical situation that's been going on, and how it's affected you mentally and made your thoughts out of balance. You've been trying to power through it, but yeah, you're going to get some healing. When the situation ends, you're going to get some healing. There needs to be an end to it. Okay? This is a change that you need to make. They're just, you can't power through it. You can't keep powering through it, Libra. Okay? Queen of Swords and Justice sideways. So they're not in the reverse, they're not in the upright. In the reverse, it talks about giving into negative thinking, black and white thinking, being overly ambitious or being manipulated by somebody who is overly ambitious. Your thoughts, they're overly emotional. Their passions take control over them. And so they can't think clearly, and they affect your ability to think clearly. Or it could talk about your own ambition affecting your ability to think clearly and get some balance in regards to your thinking, being able to get rid of those distractions. So if these were in the upright, they would talk about setting boundaries to these distractions, setting boundaries to your ambition, to your finances, setting boundaries like taking charge of your finances, like really coming up with a plan for the long term to achieve the goals that you want, and a plan that doesn't necessarily involve other people or other situations or other people's money, because the Queen of Swords is about setting boundaries, healthy boundaries. It's about cutting people out in order to nurture yourself, cutting situations that just aren't right for you out of the equation in order to nurture your thinking and to nurture your own ambitions, to nurture your responsibilities with your finances. Okay. So there is something here with that. And we've got Judgment, which is also about letting go of something. You let go of something to have a better tomorrow. Something here in the physical world that is affecting your ability to have a better tomorrow. Two of Swords, or no, this is Eight of Swords in reverse. This is getting out of that mental trap where you're letting fear and anxiety control you, you're letting negative thinking control you. So a lot like the Ten of Swords, it's not necessarily surrendering to that, but maybe where in the past you did surrender to the negative thinking and the imbalanced thinking, you're getting out of that. You're definitely getting out of that when you set your boundaries. You get rid of the distractions to your thinking and you let go of whatever you need to let go of. And what you need to let go of here in the physical world, it could be something like doom scrolling, or it could be something like a person around you, or it could be like an actual possession, that is just weighing you down. It's causing you all these issues. If you buy a house you can't afford, then you're having to work two jobs. You're having to burn that midnight oil. You're having to really stress yourself out over the finances. You let go of it. Maybe you buy a different house, one that's more easily affordable, or the taxes are more affordable, because when you buy a house, it's not just the house you're buying, you're also buying the local income tax where that house is located. You've got property tax, you've got maintenance, you've got, all this other stuff to think about when you're buying it. And it's not just the house maintenance, it's also the land maintenance. It's maintenance of, local sewer system if you're in a city, or the electric, maintenance, or street and sidewalk maintenance. Or if you're in the country, you have a drain field. it's you have a drain field. Do you get, propane? You have a propane tank to maintain. You have, and then the propane to buy. And so there's all these different complicated, and that's just one example. I'm not saying this is about a house, but that's like an example of something that you could need to let go of. Or it could be something as simple as, like I said, doom scrolling through social media that you need to let go of and put boundaries on, and that will help you get out of the fear and anxiety, that will help you get out of the financial issue, the financial loss. So there's some because there is something with tradition and ritual that you need to sort of rebel against, and you need to look out for like bad advice that keeps you stuck in this situation because it's tradition or it's advice from somebody who you consider to be an authority in this area. And so this advice, you're really needing to look at getting away from that, setting boundaries on that. And this Ace of Swords says that you've got this new potential to understand. You're getting a breakthrough in your understanding of how all of this interacts and how all of this is causing an issue for you. And then we've got Ace of Cups and the Fool. So this is about a new beginning. Creatively, romantically, there's a new start. There's a new journey. You're letting go of your baggage. You're being more true to yourself. And that helps the creativity flow. So where there's been this imbalance and this instability, part of it has been because you're not letting your creativity flow. You're not letting your self-love flow. You're not dropping the baggage from the past because you've been afraid to. You've been afraid to. Maybe there have been too many choices and you've been feeling paralyzed by the choices. But Seven of Cups and the Druidcraft really illustrates it better. Seven of Cups, it's about choices and that not all of those choices are the right ones for you. Usually there's only one cup or two cups that are a good choice for you. So creatively, emotionally, even spiritually, there is a correct choice for you, or there is a good choice for you. And some of the things that are tempting you, some of the things that you're daydreaming about, they're not good options for you. They're too pie in the sky, or they're too, I'm going to win the lottery and then I won't be in debt anymore. Okay, that's what I mean by being too pie in the sky. That's not really an option. That's not viable. So there is, there are choices, and the Seven of Cups says that there's at least one that's a good choice for you. And if you're feeling stuck by the choices, you need to go within. We've got the Magician sideways, the Empress sideways. You need to look at where you've been people-pleasing and not nurturing your own ideas about how to manifest this new beginning, about how to get your mojo back, how to get your creativity back, how to drop the baggage, how to get clearer thinking, get rid of the distractions on your time, on your finances, on your brain. Get rid of those distractions. There is a better way to do these things. Look at where your strength is. Three of Pentacles sometimes talks about collaboration, but it mainly talks about coming up with a plan. Look at where your strengths are. Look at where your weaknesses are. Set a boundary on your weaknesses. Be a little bit ruthless and set a boundary on your weaknesses with this Queen of Swords, and focus more on your strengths. When you're coming up with this plan, focus more on your strengths, because that's what's going to help you get out of it. So you really need to change where you're being distracted, where there's where you're struggling to let go of those distractions. Now the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, this is a card of balance. It's a card of discernment. It's a card of the balance in giving and receiving. Okay, so when it's in the reverse, somebody could be giving to you out of pity because they're trying to appear like a nice person. Or you're giving to something because you're trying to appear nice, not because it's like in your heart. Some people give to a charity just because it's expected to give, not because they actually care about, say the charity was for dogs. Somebody doesn't care about dogs, but there's a plate being passed around at their workplace. There's the beggar's bowl being passed around. Please give to this charity for dogs, and everybody else is doing it at their jobs, so they feel like they have to. So this is sort of like when it's in the reverse, it can be pity and giving, not because somebody cares about the cause, right? It's because they're trying to appear to be good, or they're trying to appear to be normal, or they feel pressured to give. So this is really about balance and discernment in what you're giving and receiving, and needing to understand that sometimes you overgive, or sometimes you give for the wrong reasons, or that somebody else is giving to you for the wrong reasons, or they're overgiving or undergiving for the wrong reasons, right? Now this Queen of Cups, all about needing to practice self-love and unconditional love. So this discernment in getting a good balance between the giving and receiving unconditional love will help you figure it out. Where are you potentially being emotionally manipulated into giving more than you can? Because you want to be loved, you want to be respected. Where is somebody giving to you not out of the unconditional love, but because they want something in exchange? And maybe that something is more than you can give. So we've also got Four of Swords and Four of Wands. Fours are about stability. They're about routines and habits. So the routines and habits in your giving, you need to really take some time out and take a look at them, especially if you've got medical issues going on. Four of Swords can talk about medical issues and the recovery and recuperation from them. So taking this time out to sit and think about where the balance is at, where there are conditions on your love, on your creativity, on your finances, on your health, and how is this affecting, Four of Wands is about marriage, it's about the home, it's about new jobs as well. It's about really looking at this balance. Okay, how is this affecting your happy home? How is it affecting your stability, your sense of community, your sense of feeling at home in your home and in your community? There's there's an imbalance. There could be quarrels. There could be like a lack of feeling like you're part of the community, or feeling comfortable in your own skin when you're, even at home, or when you're, in your community or your job. There could be a lack of feeling like you belong, because that's what, this would mean in the reverse. So it's sideways, so it's both the positive and the negative. It's sort of like maybe it was reversed, but it's going upright, or maybe it was upright, but it's starting to go in the reverse. There's yeah, and it was the same as the Four of Pentacles. So this is, affecting your health, affecting your thinking, that there's this imbalance, that there's this lack of unconditional love. And the Knight of Wands says you want to take action to transform this. You want to take action to change it. Usually the Knight of Wands is not on a snail, but this one is on a snail. For some reason, Knight of Wands is almost as fast as the Knight of Swords usually. But this one is on a snail, so the action is, moving at a snail's pace. The action that you want to take to transform is not moving as quick as it should be otherwise, as quick as it would be normally. So you need to really be discerning with where you're feeling like you don't fit in, with where you're feeling like there isn't unconditional love, and you want to transform that part of your life. You want to transform, your community, your home, your job to one that you absolutely love, or one that gives you a good mix, a good balance between what you give to it and what it takes out of you, like time-wise or financially. Then we have the Sun, and the Sun is all about rebirth. It's about your rebirth. It's about your growth. It's about coming out of the dark into the light and starting anew. You see the Fool here is a child, whereas the Fool in the actual Fool card is more like a teenager or like a 20-ish something. So this Fool is reborn in the Sun card. It's about knowledge and clarity. It's about the ego. It's about understanding with the awakened mind where you need to go and how you can come out of this darkness into the light. Then we've got King of Cups and King of Pentacles. Kings are father figures. They're also about taking charge. So you start out as a page. You go through the page where you're studying, you're learning, you're a child. You go through the night where you take action almost like a teenager or a young adult like the Fool. And then you go through the Queen where you're sort of like, 30s, 40s, you're nurturing your mother. And then the King, you're like 50s, 60s, you're like, I've accomplished this. I can sit and relax, but I'm also keeping an eye on things. I'm vigilant. I'm in charge. I know what I want and I know what to do to get it. So that is like the King phase, right? So King of Pentacles is all about the long-term stability. King of Cups, also long-term stability. So between physical health, physical possessions, emotions, love, they're all about having that control and that taking charge, but not like if they were in reverse, it would be that sort of control and charge in a authoritarian way. When they're in the upright, I mean, these came out sideways. So when they're in the upright, it's about doing it in a way that benefits everybody, themselves and everybody around them. Whereas, in the reverse, this is like abusive, right? This is my way or the highway. So the Kings, building physical, building your health, building your emotional stability, really looking at where you can get this new growth and how you can do this. And here we had the Four of Cups in the reverse. So don't spend too much time daydreaming. Don't get sucked into your daydreamings. Don't ignore what is right underneath your nose. Okay, don't ignore what's happening right underneath your nose. I mean, in between the kings and that Four of Cups, we had the Three of Cups. I mean, 3 to 4, but the 4 was reversed. So the 3, it can talk about celebrations, collaborations with other people, friendship. But there could be something going on that's right underneath your nose in regards to that, and that could be affecting your finances. There could be something going on with your friends, that's causing instability. Because you went from the 3 to the 4 in the reverse. I mean, don't let yourself celebrate too much, because this is a card of celebration. It's also a card of the fates, the Norns. And there are twin cats there, or 2 of the same cat. Yeah, so you really want to, when you're getting clarity and you're getting this rebirth, you want to kind of, it's good to celebrate, right? It's good to acknowledge the good times, but you also want to understand that too much partying. So if this had been in the reverse, this would be needing to give up something like alcohol or too much partying or certain friends, certain collaborations in order to have your own happiness back again. But it was the 4 cups in the reverse. So this is, ignoring, not seeing potentials, ignoring something under your nose, that's affecting your stability, that's affecting your creativity and your love. So there could be something going on with like friends and with celebrations that you're not noticing, and then you get clarity on it, and that helps you build that stability, that helps you take charge again. Yeah, so really be mindful, like celebrate, but be mindful of the celebrations. Don't let them put you into debt. Also be mindful of where celebrations and friendships are putting you into debt or putting you into instability. Now the final 2, 9 of Pentacles and Knight of Cups. So the 9 of Pentacles, this is, wanting to take action. It can be a love offering, it can be a message of love, but it's wanting to take action towards that stability, towards unconditional love for yourself, and getting a good work-life balance, getting a life of luxury in the way you define it. I used a house, for example. So owning a house could be what you consider a luxurious life. And it could be worth it to have some imbalance in your work, Sometimes it's worth it to live in the suburbs because you can afford a house there, whereas you can't afford a house in the city. So you try to have a good work-life balance between how far you have to drive to work and where you live, or where you can afford to live. Especially right now, a lot of places you can't afford to live near where you work. And that's just how it goes. So this is about, what would you consider an acceptable balance here? What would you consider to be a good life or a good place to live, as an example, where you're not struggling to pay the bills, but you're also you have some things that you want. You have a neighborhood that's less crime ridden or something. You have a room in a house that's in a nice neighborhood, and you can, spend some money on the things that you want to do with your friends. Or you can spend some money, say you want to traveling. But now you have longer commute because you can't find a good job near where you live. But it's also worth it to live there as opposed to where you used to live in this city that, it was crime ridden. You had people breaking in and stealing stuff, siphoning gas from your car or whatever. And you always had to worry about that. The rent was more expensive, but you were 5 minutes from where you worked. So this Nine of Pentacles, it's also about balance. It's about the work-life balance and about what you would consider good in that balance. So you're taking action towards that, using your creativity, and you're at this crossroads. Two of Swords. You need to put mental clarity over emotions in order to come up with a solution, to find the path that is right for you. The Star in reverse, Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands, Six of Cups. Okay, don't get drowned in the past. Don't drown yourself in the past with nostalgia. You can look to the past, to things that brought you joy, things that helped you feel like you were unconditionally loved in the past, to help guide you, especially to help guide you back to reconnecting to yourself, because you're disconnected from yourself. You could even be blocked spiritually. Somebody could be blocking you, or you could be blocking yourself by not having this good work-life balance and not making this decision. I mean, there's a healing, the dream, the wish come true. There is a healing if you can flip this upright, but it's in the reverse. So you're not looking at, when you're making this decision, okay, and you're at this crossroads, you need to look at the good and the bad in your life. Okay, even the good and the bad from the past, or you're not going to be able to get your joy back. And then we have the Queen of Swords again, setting those boundaries, cutting out those things that aren't right for you, that aren't good for you, setting boundaries around them if you can't fully cut them out. The Star in the reverse with the Two of Swords, Two of Swords, two about balance. We got lots of things about needing to have more balance in your life. In the Star in the reverse, where are you not seeking guidance? Where are you not looking for where are you not looking for that balance to come into your life? Okay, if you have low self-esteem, it's causing the confusion and the despair. It's causing the disconnection. Okay, you need to seek guidance. You need to release that pain, that drama. Look at how you can improve this situation and walk in the beauty of your true self. So this Two of Swords, you're really, really kind of caught in this crossroads. And it's like that Seven of Cups. There could be, Two of Swords, there's traditionally two paths, right? And it's a doorway, and you can see how it's a doorway, right? The cat can go between the two trees, the two swords, and it's like a doorway, like the two of wands, where it's a doorway, it's a path you can plan, and you can start taking action on your plans. But there's also, so if we're looking at Two of Swords in another deck, and you're sitting at the crossroads, and there's a path here and a path there, there's also a middle path, just like in the Moon card. Even if there's something blocking an obstacle in that middle path, there is still a middle path. And then there is, of course, the path that you came down in the past, which the Six of Cups is referring to, where you've lost that, where you've made those bad decisions. Maybe you've been at a stalemate because you can't figure it out, and you're not listening to yourself, and you have that low self-esteem, that lack of self-love, that lack of connection to the self. So there are more than two paths, right, with the Two of Swords. But Two of Swords says there's really only two that are quite viable for you. So it's all about what is viable in the long term. I hope that made sense. It was a little convoluted, but I hope it made sense. And I hope it helps really look at practicing some self-love. When you're overworked, you get tired, you have less ability to think clearly. When you're tired, to be discerning, to get that balance, you have less ability to maintain yourself and take care of yourself. So you need to take a little more time out. What changes does Libra need to make for next year? Time to shine. Create the energetic response for golden opportunities, or energetic resonance for golden opportunities. So try meditating on this. We'll see, you can see what it says there. And then I'll hold it up really close so you can meditate on it. Create the energetic resonance for golden opportunities. Okay. Take care, Libra.